Okay, so with labor, there are 3 stages, and you kind of determine whether someone's in labor by how rapid their contractions are, how far apart they are, and how strong they are, that sort of thing. But once a person's really in active labor, you divide this first stage into 2 stages. So dividing that one, we have the latent phase, and you have the active. So we've got the latent first stage and the active first stage, and really you divide this up between the how much the cervix is opened up. So the latent stage is open 3 to 4 centimeters, and the active phase is 4 and up centimeters, all the way to 10. And usually the latent phase is going to last somewhere between 6 to 11 hours, whereas the active phase usually lasts 4 to 6 hours. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is this isn't a first-time mommy. A first-time mommy takes lots longer because that cervix has never been stretched out with an enormous baby's head before. After the first baby, they call it a person who this is the first time, they call it prima paris. If they've never been had delivered before, you call it null paris. But prima paris is going to be a lot longer than a multi-paris, which is a person who's had multiple kids, more than one. So the 6 to 11 hours in a person who's already had a baby is going to be like rough, not half, but close. It's like 4 to 8 hours in multi-paris women. And then this active phase is usually, it's about half, 2 to 3. So if it's happened before, it goes a lot faster, which makes sense. If you use a lot of sedation, a lot of drugs to like sedate the mother, it'll take longer than this. And it also can be prolongated with cephalopelvic disproportion. So if there's some kind of like the pelvis is smaller and the head's bigger, or some other kind of issue like that going on, it can take longer. Typically, active labor, it's considered normal, good active labor if the cervix is dilating about 1.2 centimeters per hour in a prima paris woman, and prima paris, whatever, and about 1.5 centimeters per hour in a multiparis woman. Okay, so they want to see it a little over 1 centimeter per hour. All right, so once the cervix is completely dilated, then first stage of labor is considered over. Okay, now we're past the first stage. Now we go to the second stage. So this is the second stage, begins at 10 centimeters dilated. Okay, 10 centimeters dilated. We are at the second stage of labor. Now what's happening is this one goes all the way from that 10 centimeters all the way to the baby being delivered. So this is basically the phase when the baby comes out. Okay, the baby starts coming out at 10 centimeters. It's considered. This one usually goes really fast. Usually it's somewhere between 30 minutes to 3 hours in a prima paris woman. In a multiparis woman, this goes way faster, like 5 minutes to 30 minutes. So you can see the first time mothers, it's a lot more challenging, a lot more difficult. Now the third stage of labor is after the baby's already been delivered, up until the placenta is delivered. Okay, so this usually in a prima paris woman and in a multiparis woman takes about the same time. Usually it happens either basically immediately, within seconds, to 30 minutes. So 0 to 30 minutes. Okay, so that's kind of the way that you break all that up. Quick review, 3 stages of labor. The first stage has an active phase, or a latent phase and an active phase. Latent phase is from 0 centimeters dilated to 3 to 4 centimeters dilated. Usually lasts 6 to 11 hours in a first-time mom, 4 to 8 hours in a second and plus time mom. Then after the centimeter gets above 4 centimeters, then it's considered active labor. Like, this is going to happen. And usually that is when, 4 to 6 hours, and this is 4 centimeters to 10 centimeters. It's 4 to 6 hours in a first-time mom, and 2 to 3 hours in a second plus time mom. And then we go into the second phase, 10 centimeters to the baby being delivered. Usually this is 30 minutes to 3 hours in a first-time mom, 5 minutes to 30 minutes in a second plus time mom. And then after the baby's delivered, it goes till the delivery of the placenta. This is the third stage of labor, and this usually is 0 to 30 minutes. All right, let's talk a little bit now about some of the monitoring that takes place while the baby's in there. Actually, I'll end this video first. I'll talk about it in the next video.